Hi everyone, we're live at Epic Headquarters. I'm here today with Steve Polch,
Hey.
Jim Brown,
Hello.
and Josh Marlow.
Hello.
Special guest. We haven't had you on for a while, Josh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Watch it.
You can tell he's very excited to be
He's been
here.
chomping at the bit. When can I get back?
We're
on?
just watching the stream chat, which has been pretty funny. So we promised you a play test, but we haven't been delivering that yet. So we apologize for that. We do have some servers ready, not ready to go. We're testing them, but hopefully we'll have a play test where we can play with you guys soon. So first of all, we're going to
You can come into the RC channel and just invite us, though.
Yes, we
Just
do.
saying.
We do play. It's not like we don't play, but yeah, we would really like to have a designated time and say, hey, come play with us. So we'll be doing that soon. Josh Marlow is here because he has something really, really cool to show you guys. So could you give us a little overview about what you're going to show us?
Sure. So I put together a test map for all the fans of all the meshes I've been working on the Leandry level. So figure we show that off and
Awesome.
kind of give everyone a sneak peek on the kind of style we've gone with and what to look forward to when the map comes out.
So this is really cool. So these are all your little
yeah
Lego pieces?
Yeah, these are all my little bits and bobs that we've kind of come up with over the past few months. So basically, after Chris put out the concept art, he kind of threw together a few door pieces that he put on the art Trello board to kind of give us a starting point on visually and thematically where we wanted to go. So it's kind of like an old 70s retro style, like Alien, Moon,
Yeah,
Star
it does
Wars
remind me kind of like
feel.
alien stuff.
So
This is really cool.
yeah, so I guess I can.
And just for people who aren't familiar, this is kind of the way we build all of our visual levels. Is the team will build these we call them Lego pieces, but they're just a door that are kind of standard shapes and pipes in standard shapes, and then you can put them together in different configurations to get a crazy amount of different looks. If you can just be a little creative with placement and scale and tweak them a little bit.
Yeah, so any mesh that I'm making, I always have it in the back of my mind, like how would someone use this? So for the pipes, I guess kind of make sure your pivot points are always on the grid, so they'll just kind of snap together.
Oh, how cool.
So I ended up making a bunch of little, random bends and curves, and then Nick comes along and makes a really cool blueprint we don't need to make all that. He can just add a few subdivisions in your mesh and bend it at your will. So, and this can actually be used on any mesh in here as long as it has the appropriate amount of like subdivisions in it. So let's see. Yeah,
So
we've
little
got
caps for
pipe
the pipes.
caps. Yeah, all over the place.
So looking at this, so we have it in the one level that Chris did the concept for, but here, I mean, to me, it looks like this could be like boat parts or,
Yeah,
a
it can be
spaceship.
anything you want.
It's really cool.
Pretty much. And I've set the shader up to where you can get a lot of reuse and make things look totally different. I'll get to that in a minute. I guess, for light fixtures, this was the one I ended up with. But from that, I broke off this section. I broke off
cool.
individual wires, had one without wires, broke the light bulb out individually. Got a few of these. So just from this piece, you can get 10 or so different pieces from that, which is pretty cool. Got to have the jump lift in there. I'm sure you guys know where these fit who are playing circuit. So I kind of made them yellow, or we might change the color, who knows, but just to kind of stand out and give the player, let them know where to go. But just from this piece, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bunch of little doodads from that. Same with little vent. So as much reuse as possible.
Awesome.
The level designers stress that. Got some little random
You have all organized.
bits.
It's very cool.
I'm really, OCD with that stuff. So it kind of comes with the territory, I guess. Like, pivot points, everything has to be on the grid.
Well, it's so important to being able to build. If you want to change wall panels, if they have different pivot points and different rotations and different scales and all this stuff, it's really difficult. But
Yeah.
when you have someone smart enough to put it together right the first place, it's really easy to just go in and make swaps, and you can get something that looks dramatically different just with a couple clicks.
Yeah. What's cool is like all these are from one texture, so I made it to where there are seams in there, so I just broke them out.
Oh, so they're not all exactly the same. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah, they're not all exactly the same. So I have versions without little hinges and some with. Let's see. Yeah, got some random like floor and trim pieces that are used all over the place. This is kind of the shape we came out with from Chris's initial breakout that he put on the art Trello board. So I actually just made these with 2 pieces. Let's see if I can get, like this piece and this one. And then from that, you can kind of just go crazy and mix and match however you'd like. Keeping him on the pivot points again.
Are these on the 10 grid?
Yes, yes, yes. Everything is on the 10 grid.
Yeah.
That took a little while to get used to coming from the old stuff, but they all snap together. And this is a big kind of big drill mining piece that again I can get a bunch of reuse out of, which is cool. Little track things. Now I made a bunch of random like floor meshes back in the early days of, I guess, fall or whatever. But so with this one, it's the same mesh, but I made 6 different materials, so it's all interchangeable.
Oh, nice.
I tried to, hopefully that comes out. So any of these floor A meshes can go with any of these materials.
Oh,
so it's kind of an easy mix and match. Same thing with the floor B, except one of these I made where you can use a half. So, yeah. And then, this guy too. Just more random floors. But they don't have to be floors. Chris and Rick are using them for other things that I cannot mention right now. Yeah. Space cars and stuff.
Are people going to be able to use these anytime soon?
Yes, when
it's done.
Yes, when it's done and when the level
done.
comes out, I specifically, made this little test map for you guys.
Okay, so they can. Oh, that's awesome.
To give you, ideas. Hopefully, you guys are getting ideas of, how you can use these in your levels.
Oh, look at
and
these! Awesome.
There we go. Some kind of big space antenna things. It's really fun to make. And so I guess this is the Mac Daddy, and then I just started breaking off little pieces and all that. And
the cell phone towers.
Yeah, we need better ones around here.
So we have the makings of our very first environment set.
We do.
Yay.
And I can show you guys kind of the master material I came up with real quick, in case you guys aren't fans of white at all. We're basically using 3 different material layers, which are kind of condensed materials. So we have a paint, a metal, and a grime. And the paint is what's kind of showing through right now, and that can actually be changed with the parameter. So we can make like a Stacy level if it'll compile. There we go.
Awesome.
So that's the FLAC map right there. I've exposed as many parameters as I can to help you guys kind of get the look you want. So like the metalness, roughness, the tint, the tiling of all of those. You can even switch out different roughness maps and normal maps for that. So the way this works is I have the paint and the metal, and I blend between those with a black and white mask. So I'll just show you real quick. So wherever there is white, the metal and scratches show up, and wherever it's black will be the main paint.
That's awesome.
And so I just condensed all of it down to one texture, which, you know, try to get as much texture use. And right now I just have the ambient occlusion map in the blue channel, but it's set up to where you guys can have your own mask in the blue channel if you want. Any texture that has an emissive, I put it in the alpha channel. You know, so yeah, but it's pretty much set up to where, you know, you guys can get whatever you want out of
Hashtag
this.
pinky pipes.
Yeah. So you could turn the paint into metal if you want. Let's see. I don't know how I'm running on time or whatever. If I'm.
Yeah, I mean, this just kind of shows
cool.
off the
That's
the
so
new material
awesome.
system, right? It used to be you would paint a texture and then add a specular if you wanted it shiny or whatever, but now everything is set up to be just a scalar value that says, you know, how shiny do you want it, and all that stuff. So it's really cool. You can get a lot of diversity out of
Instead
there
of
with just
doing it in
changing some
Photoshop,
values.
importing, doing it in Photoshop,
Yeah,
importing.
you don't have to repaint everything.
Everything, every time.
And every mesh has its own instance, and you can make copies of that. So if you want a door, you know, metal, and then one right beside it, you can have it yellow paint or something, or dirt, you know. So it's up to you guys. It's all there. So hopefully y'all are getting some ideas, and excited to see what y'all do with it.
Yeah, really excited.
And we're
to see what they
excited
do
for
with it.
you to see the map eventually. It's looking really, really cool.
This
So,
is really amazing, Josh. Thank you so much for doing
Yeah,
this,
yeah,
because
sure.
it's things like this that help people like me, especially who are just like, oh gosh, where am I going to even start? And this is a really nice base to help people to get started.
Every week we keep saying, you know, we want people
There you
involved. We
go.
want people involved in getting stuff like this. I'm hoping what a lot of people are waiting for, right? They want assets to build
Yes,
with, right? They want
yes.
those Lego pieces
So-
to start putting stuff together.
Well, it's
so.
super inspirational, you know. Like I
Yeah.
said, you just look at this and you think, "Oh, wow, this would be a nice boat," you
Yeah.
know.
yeah. So I'll post some
CTF
screenshots
December.
in the environment sub forum, and hopefully this will spark some activity in there, because I know there hasn't been a lot lately. And
Yeah.
so yeah,
Not that you've been
it's
busy.
a
or
good starting
anything.
point. No, not at all.
That's awesome. Thank you so much,
Sure,
Josh.
yeah.
And thanks for stopping in with us today.
No problem.
So Jim and Steve are going to talk about some things,
Some
cosmetic
things.
items.
So I posted. So we're getting close to ready to start testing our first initial version of our marketplace, and kind of working with the community to figure out how all that stuff is going to work. And so I posted yesterday on the forums that we're looking now for people to start building some test content for us. So specifically some cosmetic items like hats and sunglasses. We've got a doc on the wiki that explains how to do it, how to build that stuff with some example content, an example head that you should fit to, and we'd really love to see you guys submit some stuff that we can use in our first test marketplace, and start iterating on that kind of stuff. So I think, and Jim will talk more about the process. We're also working on some tutorials to help make it even easier for people to figure out how to make this stuff. It's just part of, we're trying to get to the point where we have all the basic systems for UT figured out. It's different people working on this stuff, so don't say, hey, why are they working on this instead of movement? It's not the same person.
Well,
so
the other thing is
Different
when we first started talking about this,
Yeah.
every time we say the word hats, I think a lot of people cringe.
Yeah.
And this is just like getting our feet wet with what a system could look like to have, customizable characters, so to speak. So don't freak out and think that we're going the hats route. It's
Well,
just
I don't know. I wouldn't say. I think we'll have. we'll have cosmetic
we
items.
will have hats.
So
of some
I
sort,
think the
yes.
thing to understand is that this game is free, and the idea is that the marketplace is how the community creators
Yep.
and us make revenue, and we don't want to have any gameplay affecting stuff. But that means that we'll have cosmetic items that don't affect gameplay. That's one of the things that people
Yeah.
can buy if they choose to express themselves.
So what we would love is for people to read Steve's doc, which is
Yeah.
just kind of gives you the quick and dirty on how to set this stuff up. And you don't have to make hats. You can make masks. You can make sunglasses. You can make beards. You could do anything,
Yeah.
anything from the shoulder up at this point,
Yeah.
because it just attaches to one
Oh, there's two. I think there's two attach points. There's a
Oh,
glasses
Steve had a
attach
second
point.
one
Sunglasses,
for the
yeah.
glasses
Yeah,
one?
there's-
Okay, cool.
yeah.
So
I
yeah,
mean, my
and
first character
say
in
where
UT,
it goes.
she wore glasses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Annika's sister, I can't remember what her name was, but
And we're going down the road of you also being able to do more with these things eventually. For now, when you're in the lead, like we have, currently just switching to a snowman hat. Pete showed off some of the stuff in a the previous stream, where you'll be able to add scripted behavior. So it could, when you go on a killing spree, your hat could burst into flames, or when you get a headshot, you could have your glasses flash, or whatever it is. You could just do crazy stuff, sounds, animations, go crazy with it. And we would love for people really to just kind of read Steve's doc and start building some stuff.
Yeah. And we're really, so with this stuff, we're looking for two types of content. And one is just cosmetic items that you would basically accessorize your character with and you would always have on. So things that basically fit into the style of the character, especially to start with. We're going to try to, keep them cool and tasteful. Somewhat, but then also leader hats, and so that's basically kind of playing around with the idea.
That's where you
If
can
you
show off.
if you guys have played the last month or so, we've got the snowman head that whoever is in the lead gets to have. So it's kind of cool to have this thing that is a special indicator. You always know who's the guy that's the leader. He gets to show off the special hat that he has only on when, and we're going to make that also something that's custom, that you guys can choose your own custom leader hat that is your show off when you're in the lead. And that we want definitely to have a profile so it's visible from a distance, and that's where you guys can go a little more out there with the kind of
scripted
designs
stuff,
you make.
yeah.
When also the kind of designs you have. I mean, we want that to be really visible and more fun.
And again, I would encourage you to kind of be somewhat restrained in terms of make it match the character. Don't give a giant hat that's the size of the entire map or things like that, because if we can get some really nice, tasteful hats in, we'll put them in the game, right? Like that's the whole goal, is that we'll
put them on the marketplace. Yeah.
So this will be one of your first chances.
so don't troll like Pete does.
Yes,
Basically.
Pete loves to troll.
Yes.
But this will be one of the first chances for people to actually put stuff in the marketplace, which is super exciting, because that's, I think, a big turning point for this game. So.
Yeah.
I think Pete would like to see a pair of mirrored aviator frames for himself. So if anybody does that,
Yeah.
Pete will be happy.
We'll have to get his Cobra hat and his mirrored sunglasses, and then he'll be good to go.
Oh, Pete. Okay, so one other thing that we want to show you guys is, most of you have already seen it, is the new launcher.
Yeah, we mentioned it, was that last week or 2 weeks ago, but we didn't actually have it up. And so they did a big update and everything went live this week. And if Shelly will switch screens, we can show you the new launcher. So you've probably all seen the old one, but this is the new one. Some people may have seen it if you had, if you were part of the Fortnite beta or anything. This went live. And it's not too different yet from the old version of the launcher, except that it has like spiffy functionality where you can actually like scale resize it, and it'll
Yay.
automatically, change the width and move buttons around and everything. So it's mainly just a visual update at this point, and the next step is to kind of go one step further with all of those links, and really kind of put some significant effort into making our tutorial pages better, making our blog better, making all of these things worth visiting more than just kind of, hey, we threw this together because this is what we had time to do. So again, this is just
Yes, we want you to come talk
the
to
next
us
step
all
in
over the place.
us actually becoming a game for realsies, and starting to look like one.
It is really starting to look like it's really coming along too. I mean, in the game and the menus and stuff. It's
Yeah,
really
so
starting to.
we kind of ran with this look, and this has kind of become, like the background of the launcher is what we were using for now anyways, the background for our UI and things like that. So we're kind of establishing a custom look for what UT looks like. So.
All right, and last but not least, Steve is going to give us a little update about what's going on with UT.
Yep. Well, you should. I'm assuming, just to remind everybody, every week when we put out the new build, we put out version notes. They're available on the wiki, or if you click from the launcher, there's latest build information under the launch button, and then also we link them in the forums. But that'll give you a good amount of in-depth detail on the things that we're doing. Right now, we're making a lot of progress in a lot of areas. We're doing some, we've gotten back to just a little bit of weapon tweaking. We're going to continue doing a little bit of that. We're trying out having people spawn with a helmet, and that's got some, some pros and cons, but it's an interesting thing that we think has some promise in terms of solving some of the balance issues and some of the issues we had with how the weapons work. Again, the sniper now does headshots in all cases, so that's sort of the trade-off there. We've got a real focus right now on Mac and Linux client fixes and trying to get that those clients closer to par with the Windows client. Unfortunately, that had a side effect on the Linux server this last week, but we'll have that fixed. But
Yes.
we're trying to get those a little bit more up to par, which certainly results in some code churn and stuff that we're not exercising as frequently here. So in the short term, there may be a little pain, but we think it's going to be worth it. We're making UI improvements. We've got our friend system almost ready to make available for you guys for testing. We're still working on improving the hub system, and that's something also that we want to start really pounding on in the near future. And we want to see you guys get out there and play and give us some feedback on where we are right now.
Yeah, and I saw just a quick shout out. I saw Chumbo is in the stream. He's been giving us some good feedback on the helmet stuff that we were talking about.
Yeah.
Zacubus is in there. He's got some amazing tutorials that are going to be out really, really soon.
Yay.
Max is in there. Who did all the sounds for the new shock rifle and new flat cannon.
Nice.
So there's a lot of. It's nice to see a lot of people in there who are actively contributing, and your stuff is actually showing up in game now. So.
Yeah, I've been
Cool.
working on Zacubus's tutorial pages, and they're pretty awesome.
Yep.
Yeah.
What
New
he's
stuff's
doing.
looking good.
And the focus of that stuff is introducing new players to UT or people that haven't played UT in a long time. And that's really, one of the things that we want to be able to get to the point in the near future where where we can start introducing some people that are less familiar with UT and getting feedback from them and understanding what the requirements of, we want to be a game that appeals to our existing community and certainly is true to Unreal Tournament, but at the same time can be successful with a wider audience. And so that's one of the things that we want to, as we get all our features in, start figuring out what are the right ways to do that. And one of the big things is making sure that we have a good way of introducing people to all the cool elements and functionality in UT.
Yeah. UT historically is somewhat of a hardcore game where, well, although the community is very welcoming, they are less welcoming if you are not also a very good player.
Yeah.
So
It can be
we want to get over that
very
hump.
intimidating to jump into a
Yeah.
server
Yeah.
and play with these guys. Sure.
Although even Pete was saying he got an ultra kill last night because thanks to the Redeemer.
Oh, we're Redeemer.
Nice.
So it is possible.
Go Pete. All right, guys. We'll see you next week. Make sure you join us tomorrow for the Unreal Engine stream. It's the same time on the Unreal Engine Twitch channel. And we'll see you guys next week. Thank you.
Thank you.
See ya.